All right. Let's talk some Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man, come out to play. He knows who I am. That Toby movie in my head, man. That Toby movie in my head. Okay, so we know Spider-Man Brand New Day is right around the corner. Well, I say right around the corner, but I guess like a 12-month mark away. And they're going to start filming within the next couple days. In fact, you guys just saw that there was that small little update about the tweak in when it's going to be coming out. Let me see if I can pull that back up. Saying here that Spider-Man Brand New Day is now set to film in Glasgow from August 1st till August 15th. Remember, that's not the entirety shoot. That's them shooting just those sections of the movie there. So like basically 2 weeks, a week and a half. It was originally going to film from the 3rd to the 9th. So a little bit more time there. I'm thinking Glasgow is going to be used to recreate New York. But man, it kind of fears me that it doesn't look like we're going to have much of the movie set in New York. Maybe it's just all the exterior shots and everything else is inside. One way or another, within the next coming days, especially after like the Fantastic Four release, I think it's going to be like casting announcement, maybe villain reveal, things like that, right? Well, something that did pop up was thanks to Daniel RPK. He let it be known that Norman Osborn is reportedly planned to introduce in the MCU. Now, he didn't specify that it would be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm assuming it's in Spider-Man Brand New Day because I think it's very rare that the MCU will introduce Spider-Man characters in a different movie, right? Like, I just don't think that's that common that the MCU will use their own movies to then hype up Sony movies, right? So I'm thinking Norman's going to show up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I don't think he's the main villain. I don't think he's the central focus. But I do think we are possibly leading up to that where Green Goblin, at least Tom Holland's Green Goblin, could be his main villain in like Spider-Man 3. But okay, talking about that for a sec, we got to talk about the elephant in the room with this. How will that happen? That's the only part that I'm like, dude, MCU Spider-Man is just so wildly different than the way I would have pictured Spider-Man in kind of mainstay, because this is a rare case where now, as soon as Spider-Man meets somebody named Norman Osborn in his universe, his Spidey sense gonna go, say that again. And he's gonna be eyeing that dude like crazy. Now, they could use that for some really intriguing storytelling, or they could botch it like the MCU has done with different things. The way I think it could be intriguing, I know people don't love this theory. I like the theory, but they could do a whole bunch of different things. Let me take a sip. My throat dry. Okay. Theory number one is the thing I keep saying. With Peter in college, I honestly would not mind if Norman Osborn is almost like his Harry Osborn and he meets this young, intelligent student that has big dreams, big aspirations. He's in college right now. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of money, but he's like, nah, dude, Peter, one day I'm going to have my own company. I'm going to be my own boss, and everybody around here is going to be looking at me, right? And Peter, he's going to know what that leads to, what that could happen. And I think there is going to be that little good guy in him, kind of the way he was trying to make the villains good in No Way Home, where, all right, but I'll guide you through it. I'll keep you there. And he becomes this plus two. And maybe they make Oscorp together, but through Peter's huge paranoia of protecting Norman or looking after him or hovering him, he actually ends up pushing Norman to the evil side in some weird way. I don't know. In my head canon, I kind of like that idea. Because if not that, don't say stupid. That's rude. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry. If not that, then I think, because I think it's so weird if like the movie just, we open up and out of nowhere, oh, by the way, Oscorp is beginning. We have to see the upcomings of Oscorp. I think it's so weird if just one day it shows up and it's there and it's a success. Like, companies don't do that overnight. Think about Tesla. Think about Amazon. Think about all these big companies. You remember hearing about them for years, and now they're the giants they are. They got to build up to that, right? And as we've heard, Oscorp doesn't exist right now in the MCU. I saw some people in the chat maybe making a good point that like maybe Dr. Octopus, please have Octo as the professor. That wasn't the comment I saw, but that's a fun theory. Where maybe Otto already has a company out there. Maybe Norman like steals a company from somebody, rebrands it as Oscorp, right? That could be. I mean, again, not to keep bringing up Elon Musk, but it could be a Twitter situation where this rich kid or whatever ends up buying a corporation already there, like maybe Stark Industries. Oh, dude, I just figured it out. There it is. Maybe he ends up purchasing, because who's running Stark right now? And is that afloat? Stark ain't around. I know Pepper Potts and all that, or maybe Don Cheadle, whatnot. Dude, what if Norman comes in, buys out Stark Industries, changes the name Oscorp? Just like bought Twitter, changed the name to X, although nobody called it X. Everybody still call it Twitter. At least I do. All the cool kids still call it Twitter. I can see something like that. I can see something like that happening. And they love to do that. They love to do that, is still incorporate Tony and the Stark Company with Spider-Man. Even with No Way Home, the heroes use Stark tech to be turning good. I would honestly love this, because it would be Norman being like, no more Stark tech. No, it's all Oscorp now. So if you want to keep using the Tony Stark name, it's now the Oscorp name, baby. It's that. I don't know. I feel like that could work, right? Also there, I've seen other people bring up that like maybe they could do like almost an MJ thing. You remember how Zendaya's character in Homecoming wasn't revealed to be MJ until the end of the movie? That was like the whole thing, where it's like, Michelle, but my friends call me MJ. Da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na. I still think that's so funny of Homecoming. Michelle, but my friends call me MJ. Say that again? That kind of moment. People are saying that maybe Peter can meet Harry in college, but he maybe goes by a slightly different name. Maybe he goes by his mother's maiden name, and it isn't until like the end of the movie it's revealed he's an Osborn. He's like, oh, by the way, this is my dad. He's trying to be part of my life now, and then that creates conflict for Spider-Man, because he's like, I know who that's supposed to be. Your daddy's not a good guy, dude. I'm giving you whoopings now, but we'll see. Harold Goblin. Y'all, I hate when you all are funnier than me, man. Can you? That's Harry Osborn's hidden name. Hey, name's Harold. Harold Goblin. That's not suspicious. Harry Osborn. Harold Goblin, dude, that's good. Harry, yeah, and the gender swap Harry Osborn too. Harriet Osborn. That'd be funny. Oh man, I wouldn't put it past Marvel. Again, as long as it works within the character, I don't mind it, and it doesn't piss me off like some people. Either way, though, I'm curious to see how they would bring in Norman, all the things, also who they would cast. I do like all the fan castings right now of Coleman Domingo. I believe he's the one that voices Norman in the animated show that actually turned out to be pretty enjoyable. I would not mind that. He'd finally get the comic accurate haircut, right? Imagine they do this and they don't give him the comic accurate haircut. It's like, where he waves at? I'm not saying he's got to have him, but where he waves at? Feige? So you guys let me know. I think it's a lot of interesting theories and thoughts. Again, I don't think he'll be a central focus or a big thing. I think it's literally something they reveal the last 5-10 minutes of the movie, and it'll be something we further develop in the sequel in 6 and 7 or wherever continues on from there. You guys let me know about that. All right. Let's move on to some Superman success. Okay.